Hello everybody and welcome to our end of year tradition with another mega campaign. That's right, another year has gone by on the channel, to which we have once again arrived at our grand campaign across all Paradox games, starting in CK3, going into EU4, then Vicky, and then finally Hearts of Iron 4. That's right, I did say EU4. Unfortunately, the converter for EU5 isn't out yet, but next year I will definitely be going in on that. We're also going to be looking at Vicky 3 this year, not Vicky 2, so that's also going to be very interesting. Whether or not I'll come to regret that, we will find out. But of course, I do want to go ahead and say thank you once again. Every year, we got to shout out the people that actually make these converters possible so that we can even have a mega campaign. I'm going to be linking every single converter down below where you can actually go ahead and do your own conversion if you want to carry on and do your own mega campaign in any of the Paradox games, because quite literally we would not be here. We wouldn't have the amazing stories that we get to tell every year without the amazing modders that make it possible. So yeah, if this is your first mega campaign on the channel, I've already kind of given you the groundwork here, but we will be going from CK3 into E4, into Vicky 3, then into Hoi 4, and then hopefully get ourselves a coherent game throughout. I do ever so slightly do a few limitations on myself, a bit of map cleanup in between the games, because unfortunately, especially this year, we're going into Vicky 3, where the AI, let's just say, isn't the best. Some things do need to be pushed in the right direction. I am going to try a few things different this year though. Obviously with the new CK3 DLC, we've had ourselves one hell of a map expansion. And every year I make myself a custom character, but not this year. In 1066, Duke William of Normandy led himself on a great pilgrimage and conquest of England. Through what some would call a very precarious claim over the title of King of England, he landed on the southern coast and led himself up to battle against King Harold Godwinson of England. He had himself a battle already with a Norwegian force also claiming the throne of England. He then went on to face William in the Battle of Hastings, which he, unfortunately for him, I guess, lost, got shot in the eye with an arrow, allegedly, and the Kingdom of England would come under Norman rule, under the now William the Conqueror. But what if little old Billy did in fact not win? What if while crossing the channel, a storm blew in out of nowhere, half his boats ravaged, half his army now completely in disarray, landing broken, confused? Harold Godwinson came back down, wiped them off the map, and dear old Billy left completely alone in the world. Our great army destroyed, half of which by nature itself, the Anglo-Saxon king finishing us off and only just managing to escape with his life dressed as a beggar. It's time for William to run. But even more harrowing news came as we bribed a little boat to take us back to Normandy, only to find that our duchy has broken apart. Local lords, hearing the demise of our army and our rule diminished, have all grabbed themselves a piece of the pie. Our wife has also become sick on the treacherous journey there and back, getting herself a little bit of pneumonia. Being in the depths of winter with nobody to take us in, we're gonna have to find ourselves on a new journey. With our flag tattered and torn, our family barely clinging on to survival, and even the French king not too happy about our failed grab for power, we're gonna have to find a new place to set our hat. And hopefully one day William again can claim a throne for his own. But for now, survival is all we're going to be thinking about. And somehow, our beautiful wife Matilda has actually got over her pneumonia, which is very handy. She is a wonderful woman with a wonderful way with money. And to escape France, we are going to have to raise quite a bit of money. So we're going to have to do a bit of odd jobs around the various kingdoms and duchies that we can. I love him just constantly. What are you on the lookout for, William? Oh, mon ami, have you seen my crown? I get the feeling we dropped it in the channel, mate. Oh, interesting. It does seem like the Norwegian king, I'm assuming, after hearing the defeat of our forces, have launched a second invasion into England with a absolutely ginormous army against the fairly weakened Anglo-Saxon king. Whilst out completing a contract for a local lord, I find out that a damn agent of the French throne has murdered my wife. I can only assume they were probably out for me as well, but after, let's just say, the coffers ran a little low, I was doing a bit of grunt work out of camp. But I think this has concluded that we can no longer stay in France. They took my titles, my claims, and now my love. You know what? I think I will burn you at the stake for killing my wife. Now, whilst we're not too safe in France anymore, I did hear of something that potentially might be a bit of a long shot. I heard that an old acquaintance had actually become quite the ruler down in Italy. Duke Robert of the Hordevilles, an old Norman adventurer, has managed to secure himself a realm, which is nice for him, I guess. Not all of us could be that lucky. But I think he'd be more than happy to help out an old Norman friend. So we'll head on over there. But we did take a quick pit stop over in Sardinia to perform in a play. Listen, alright? My wife's dead. My dukedom's gone. I've lost my marbles a little bit. I just want to feel anything. All it cost us every piece of gold that we had, and after our little bit of performing arts side questing, we have finally made it into Italy. I think this was going to be a very good safe place for us to start building up our camp, start making ourselves a little bit of money, and potentially trying to set our sights on where we're going to end up. First off, we have managed to actually get ourselves a few troops just from helping out already and asking for a bit of a favor from the local lords around, so we can help out as mercenaries where we see fit. Oh, on our 50th birthday, been greeted with the news that the once Duke Robert the Fox is now King Robert the Fox, as he has conquered Epirus off the Byzantines. Yep. Good for some, huh? Good for some! Meanwhile, I am doing medieval Uber Eats, delivering emissaries. So I don't know if it's just a Norman thing, but everywhere I seem to go, these Norman lands, it's infected with the blight. Oh, I have fallen to the bloody flux. Bad news, might die. Good news, my physician did give me a pretty good remedy. It did, however, include, I'm assuming, cutting off my nose. Pulled through, but honestly, at what cost did we pull through here? Now, I do think our camp has been built up quite nicely in the lands of Robert the Fox. Things have gone okay over here. I've got a few retinue, I've got a whole bunch of upgrades, and most importantly, I did chop off my nose. Now, personally, I do believe I would have preferred to keep my nose, but I got rid of them all. But I have heard many juicy rumors of riches and potential possibilities further along the Silk Road. Also, just the endless plagues and suffering here is making me want to leave. So whilst my legs certainly aren't as strong or steady as they used to be, we will be putting them to use until our final years. So I think obviously our first step off should be to the Holy Land. You will never guess who has just re-inherited the Kingdom of England. He's back! Harold Godwin's son. It looks like it was installed by faction demands. Norway is still holding on to some land over there, but somehow Harold returned. Upon my arrival into the Great Holy Land, I bottle up a bit of water from the Jordan, and may have wandered off immediately to a local theatre to perform in a bit of a play. At heart, I am an actor. It was an excellent play we performed in the Holy Land, and I guess the Holy Land was cool too, I guess. But mostly the play! Now we shall continue on our journey east. Once again, we're heading further on east into very, very uncharted waters, so much that there appears to be a giant serpent, apparently. We have managed to land on the shores of the great Song Empire. Not too sure where I am, but I do have a bit of an inkling to get a crack addiction. Finally, at the age of 66 though, apparently I'm still good. I also did go ahead and finally get rid of my old nickname, and now we have become the Wolf Slayer. Now, we spent most of our time here building up our retinue. We now have quite a large army, and with it, with our ailing health, I have decided I think it might be time for us to once again reclaim our honor. I have found a land through the tales of the song that might be ripe for us to lay our flag back down. Now, they sure do have a very weird attire here, but as a man of the theater, it's nothing I haven't seen before. Been here for about 5 minutes. This dude absolutely loves me. Just went ahead and gave him loads of money. And he did let slip that there are lands up in the north, unconquerable, untamable, that I think my name should be on. He did say it's going to be a very difficult fight. At least that's kind of what I gathered from the various hand signals. Since I don't speak Japanese. But I think it's time for us to launch our invasion. Whilst it was, definitely a tough battle for somebody, that somebody most certainly wasn't me, William the Wolf Slayer. And with a second war, we have now conquered the entirety of this island. And now, once we failed to claim our throne, we forge one, surely a little bit out of the gutter, but we have made it ourselves. Our great kingdom of New Normandy. We also did promise to tame these lands, and I think we're definitely going to keep that promise. Wink. In a way. While this empire is completely falling to its own chaos, we can make the most of it. Now, whether or not we're going to be able to continue to hold our new kingdom over here is definitely going to be a question for a different ruler. I have somehow made it to the ripe old age of 82, and my sons have all died, except for the one that is still over in France. I don't think we want him though. I did manage to pump out one last son with my niece. Alright, it was a different time, alright, no judging. But he is only 9 years old, and I don't know how much longer I can stay alive for to sire this heir. Every time I think it's the end right there. Just something is just keeping me going just a little bit longer. Never mind, that was it. King William, the Wolf Slayer, has finally kicked the bucket. Now, King Lancelin is a 9-year-old boy. I think this is going to be a bit of a difficult adjustment, especially looking at the monetary situation currently. Yeah, I think we're definitely going to have to lower down on our retinue quite a bit. We definitely need to work on a few things. Most importantly is the control. We have like no control in any of these states at the moment, which is why we're not really getting any money. And there is good money to get over here, specifically from these gold pits. Now I have come of age, I'm really hoping that King Lancelin's reign will be one of stability. I think we really need to go ahead and solidify our rule of this land before we even think of potentially starting anything else with the Japanese. I have already gotten started on obviously appointing all of our Norman rulers, at least all the Normans we have left hanging about, and I'm also working on bringing the Norman culture over to Japan and teaching them all of our interesting ways, such as if you ever heard about our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. I mean, you appear to be learning pretty quickly. I do think as well we're going to go ahead and actually rebrand, diverge our culture out. I don't think I'm actually going to create a hybrid with the Japanese one. I think we do want to keep our Norman culture, but we will create our own version of it called Eastern Norman culture. That way we do at least get to control what we will be researching over here. Okay, Mr. Pope, I'm going to be real with you. I don't think there's too much I could do all the way over here in Japan. I'm not even entirely sure how this message managed to get over here. Oh, just also got an update on that crusade. They appear to have blown up the Byzantines. Well done, fellows. We had a very stable rule in our kingdom for a while. It has helped by the fact the Japanese have been, well, let's just say, doing a bit of infighting for a while now. But we've been through a couple rulers. We are currently on King Lancelin III. He, I don't think, is going to be sticking around too much longer, though. And I did manage a little bit of expansion over in Sakhalin and into the wildlands up here. I do think, though, before we even think about moving on a little bit here, I do want to get a bit more land from Japan. My army is getting up there, but if I was to go ahead and declare a holy war right now, there could be up to 27,000 of them. Okay, so I've been saving up money. I reckon we might be able to beat Japan just because I think I've got my own holy order now, but if I call a holy order in and also get mercenaries, we may have enough troops to overwhelm them. I did also go ahead and buy myself a claim for the administration of Japan. I don't know if that's even going to matter, but I have it because that's not the actual title. The actual title is something else, I believe, but we'll see. It is technically an empire title, and I would like an empire. Oh, they have made a big mistake there. They actually came in from the sea, so they've got the disembarkation. We might be able to smash them right here. Oh, yeah. Disgusting. Oh, hold on. They're going back to the sea again. If they try and land again, I need to make sure that I get them as well. Oh, they're doing the exact same thing again. Okay. I did win the war, but I don't think I'm gonna do this. This would actually put me into like the special Japanese government, and I don't think I want to do that. I want to keep my Norman ways is the thing, and this would be pretty funny in a way, but we're not. I just think it's too OP. And instead, we are just going to wipe peace out of this one. It's going to be a bit of a pain, unfortunately, for us here. But I think we're just going to start chipping land away, especially now that I know with just the Mercs and the Holy Order, we can actually beat them. So I think next time we're going to fight for a kingdom title. I might go actually just for a Holy War. I can buy claims, but can I actually just get a claim on the supposed kingdom? No, I do not think I can because they don't use those kingdoms. I will just have to do a holy war. And very interestingly as well, I did just get the Men of Arms innovation. So my levies are about to get maxed out. Sorry, my levies? No. Not my levies, my retinue. My man-at-arms are about to be pretty damn good. Oh, and I was wondering then when that was going to go ahead and kick off. Now, I'm really hoping they're not going to come into contact with me, but it is a huge possibility they might. It could be a good destabilizing factor, though, for our Japanese friends. Okay, I mean, I know we were just at war like 5 seconds ago, Japan, but I'm back. And I've actually brought quite a few friends. There's an absolute slaughter, by the way. Just destroyed them. Yeah, I managed to actually, let's just say, sell off all of my children to various leaders across Asia. I'm not, entirely sure where most of them ended up, but they do have some cool new attire. In China. Well, I would say that was a difficult one, but it really wasn't, and it didn't cost too much if you don't count all of my children now being in the courts of foreign rulers. My sons are all landed now, and I'm definitely not stopping here. We are going to keep going into Japan and get as much as we can. I actually haven't played with the Mongols since the new DLC and update, so it's going to be interesting to see how far they actually get here and what happens. If you're looking for a bit of an update in the world as well, looking pretty similar, honestly. Now, the Anglo-Saxons still going strong over in England. I did notice France has managed to get down here somehow, and also there just appears to be endless crusades, and surprisingly, none of which have been successful. Didn't even have to call any of my allies in that time, but my son did die, which is a bit annoying because now my heir is the dear daughter I sent off to China. I don't think we're going to let her become the old ruler. She, her husband did just die. She's ended up back in my court, so it probably wouldn't be a horrendous idea. I'm going to try and get another heir out, though, at some point. Because, well, let's just say that husband of hers may have gotten around. Now, it's been a little bit of time. I have been hard at work conquering all of Japan. My leader, 91 years old, still feeling fine, and he also just became a conqueror. I don't know how you're alive, but I can go ahead and finally create the empire title of Japan. I don't know if this is going to have like the weird laws though, so we'll give it a go. Perfect. It doesn't. I don't think Japan is obviously a very fitting title for this, though. There we go. Isn't that almost beautiful? We've still got a little bit more land to take, but I'm pretty happy with that. So, time's gone by a little bit here. Things have been pretty well, if you don't consider the Normandy flu. It's been quite a few years of just stabilization. We now have all of Japan under our empire under full control. We are prospering. Sure, there's a little bit of a flu going around, and I'm hearing rumors actually of something spreading over the steppe. Yeah, I think that might finally put the nail in the coffin for the Mongolian Empire. Okay, yeah, it has reached our shores, and just about everywhere else in the world, mostly down to the fact that there are just huge empires everywhere, I imagine. Let's just, fingers crossed this isn't too debilitating. Oh yeah, it's bad. It's bad. Very, very bad. The entire world is just absolutely ravaged. Heck, I thought the Mongols were going to end up being the final boss here, but I think this is the final boss. Oh, the Japanese are rising up against me. The Catholic populace. Hold on. What? Hold on. Now it's definitely not the time for this, fellas. Well, I think that might be the worst of it there. I mean, we have breached 4,000 character deaths right there on the map. That's my game's actually running a lot faster, actually. And are we gonna tick just over that? Yeah, there you go. 5,000 people dead. I mean, it's cleared out of Japan now. There's still, coming here and there some places, but I think that is that. I can now leave the cave. Oh yes, also we are currently Emperor Serlo the Stout of Normandy. Yes, I was very stoutly as I hid in that cave while everyone around me died. I do feel pretty sad we didn't have a proper go at it with the Mongols. They've, I think they're right at the end of their lifespan, the look of things right now, but they still have a bit of a dog in them, so I'm gonna take that as an invitation. I don't particularly need or want that land, but I'm going to take it. Never mind. I think that was going to take me forever anyway, if you can't tell by my army being over here. They've exploded. It was too late. And, yeah. I prefer this. Yeah, I don't know if it's just like the latest DLCs or whatnot, but things are very weird now. Things are a lot more stable, I should say. Like, I'm actually seeing a lot of empires form, and then they just sort of stay in their de jure empire lands. Oh god, also just realize France owning Egypt. Cool, I guess. I don't know. I should probably keep that in EU4. Weird. I guess it'll be like a vassal, though, because I think it's overseas. That's how the converter works. But yeah, look, all these Mongol, I guess, successor states, breakaway states over here. We've got like a Mongol Khanate in southern Italy. I'm so tempted, actually, just to end the game right now and do the conversion. I think I am. I think this is going to be really interesting. I mean, I'm not sure how stable a lot of this land will actually be, but I do think this is going to be very interesting. Screw it. We started it, might as well finish this war. Just a quick little pillage. These guys are already falling apart, so I might as well take take a little piece of the pie as well. Hey, if everyone else has got their fingers in their pie, I'm going to dip mine in there too. And oh god, the golden horde just exploded already. Oh, I think this is exactly where we are going to leave off. I see a lot of interesting stuff potentially in the world. I did expand our land up here just a little bit. I think I might release this as like a little vassal though when we get into EU4. It might actually just convert into that, I'm gonna be real. But I thought it'd be good to have a good Norman friend over to keep us protected from the steppe hordes. So I've whacked cousin Guntard up there. Yep, that is in fact his name. He is my cousin and he's about to die. But this is our realm. Look at that. I do also own pretty much the majority of Taiwan over there as well. I've got myself another vassal over there, my brother, King Adam. And in terms of realm development, I have obviously spread Catholicism everywhere in the mainland. We did have a bit of a Lollard issue just at the end there. Gonna leave that there though. The culture, Eastern Norman, has spread all across the Isles. There is still a little bit of Japanese resistance, but not a lot. I didn't really bother developing too much. You can well, you can actually see I've not bothered developing too much. Look at China right there. Look at Bohemia as usual, very yellow on the map. Whereas we really got absolutely wiped out in the plague, which is actually what I like. I want to, because this does get converted into EU4. I don't want to be too overpowered, especially because obviously we have a lot of land. I'd prefer that land to, for lack of a better way of saying it, it's trash. I mean, we do have a good bit of development like over here, but I think this is like a normal CK3 game. I'd have a lot more provinces at 100. We're not even half of that right now. We're at 46 over here, and in comparison, we just go look at China. They're all at 100. Okay, yeah. New Normandy, definitely a little bit behind, I think, when we get to EU4. But that is where we'll be leaving it off. Emperor Serlo II of Normandy is in a very good position. I mean, he is 53 and infirm already, which is pretty interesting. We're going to have to see how this will transfer over, how the realm will go, and a few things I want to point out that could end up being very interesting. Obviously, the Chinese under the Zheng dynasty, absolutely just monstrous in every regard. There are a few Mongol successor states out there that could potentially be a threat. We have the White Horde that I think actually did just get crusaded, or was it Sicily? I think, yeah, Sicily, I think got retaken back. But the Mongols are still holding on a little bit there. I mean, it is interesting to see these pockets of just Mongolians just hanging about everywhere. We do also have a pretty powerful few little people in Anatolia. We actually have a whole bunch of Greek still around, and they are actually Muslim, which is pretty interesting. The Turks have also managed to arrive as well. And of course, we got the Mongolians over there. It's really a battle royale of what this could end up being. Obviously, all the provinces, no one's actually gone ahead and converted anything other than, well, these few provinces over here have become Zililid, which is actually a hybrid culture between Greek and Khitan. So you can see how far that's got. I mean, literally, like where's the birthplace of Khitan? I can just see it there. The French as well. I mean, the Crusades did actually make a bit of a comeback at the end here. We got the French holding Egypt just directly. Muslim Jerusalem, by the way, they lost that. They did get Jerusalem back at one bit, but nobody's looking, too powerful here and there. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing what Europe is going to turn into. I don't know if we're actually even going to be able to see it, though. Surely we should at least know that it's there, considering we did come from it. But yeah, look, the Anglo-Saxons did hold on in England. The French have, well, they're not French anymore. They're Geg. Yep, I've had a stroke. But without further ado, let's get on to that next episode, shall we? And if you enjoyed the video and this first part of the mega campaign, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button. It really does help the video out, and obviously this is always a big thing every year, so it would be nice to have a little bit of support on it, especially if you want to keep seeing them every year. Oh, and of course, make sure you check out the converters linked down below.